Julie Chase-Morefield has never really been afraid of much, not even the boys in gym class in school. It's actually where she won her husband's heart, or at the very least, caught his eye.
We actually met in our high school gym class, playing basketball in gym class. He's a terrible basketball player. I'm much better. He wouldn't admit that though.
Julie laughs. She likes to laugh a lot. She also likes to win, not necessarily in basketball, but in the great race of giving. Julie is the executive director of the Second Harvest Food Bank of North Central Ohio. She grew up in Huron, raised by a stay-at-home mom and a dad who was an engineer for NASA. She grew up simple, one of 4 children. Her sister has a doctorate in psychology and works in mental health. Her brother is a doctor, and her other brother is an engineer like their father. Julie says, just people who quietly help others.
I guess that's just how my family is. Always trying to think of, how we can help other people and, how we can do better. I think I've always felt that I've been really lucky and that when you're fortunate, and you've been given a lot, and I don't mean that in terms of money, but I mean in terms of, I've got this great life and I have this wonderful family. My family's very close. And when you've been that fortunate, it almost seems like an obligation that it's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to help other people.
Julie looks out over that warehouse filled with food. Her mind, no doubt, wanders. It also wonders. Wonders about it all and the people who need it.
You meet people and you see people, and it's nobody any different than you or I. I mean, we always talk about that here, that sort of there but for the grace of God go I. That this could be anybody.
But not anybody can lead, and not anybody can do it at what is considered a young age. Julie is 41 years old. When she took over as the executive director of Second Harvest, she was just 30.
I remember distinctively when I first came back when I was 30 years old, and it was, really? Like, you're the person running the food bank. Okay. There was a lot of, okay, a little bit of questioning. And that took a while to kind of overcome. Yeah, and that kind of stuff makes me just sort of dig in a little bit more.
She's been the right person for the job. The food bank model has changed dramatically. Recent recessions pushed food distribution and needs to levels not seen before. No longer was a food bank just a place of canned and boxed goods. Those elements are still provided, but now so is fresh produce and frozen foods. There are 12 food banks in the state of Ohio. Second Harvest is one of the smaller ones, but they're right behind the big ones in terms of food distributed. Julie and her husband Mike have 2 children, Graham and Avery. Graham is 6 years old, and he's ready to understand it all.
We're trying to make sure that he understands that he's coming from a really great place, that he's got a mom and a dad and a sister and grandparents and all of that around him, but not everybody does. And we talk about that. He and I talk about that.
Julie's husband Mike is a high school art teacher. She says he's got a great way with kids. He also has a great way with her.
My husband always has to remind me that I always feel like I haven't done enough. That there's always more that can be done. And he always has to remind me that, He always has to remind me that it's okay, that I'm doing everything I can. I guess that's part of living for me, is that, being able to help others and being able to feel like I'm doing something to make somebody else's life better, then, I feel like I've got purpose.
Julie Chase-Morefield, the Emerald honoree for inspirational leadership.